I'm Clare, and this is my mate Anna. 10 years ago, Anna and I drove a Ford Fiesta 10,000 kilometres from the UK to West Africa. We'd bought it off eBay for less than £250. We had no service history and almost no mechanical know-how. The West Africa we saw is a different one now, and today's politics would make this trip a challenge to repeat. Our breakdowns were outnumbered only by adventures, and we got way more mileage from our car than we'd ever hoped for. 10 years later, this is our story.
This is Niger. We're in Niger. We just crossed into Niger.
We just arrived in Niger from Burkina Faso and were unsure of what to expect after being bombarded with warnings against travelling here due to the security situation.
Hello, Lena.
Hello there.
We had our headscarves at the ready and planned to lay low while we sussed things out.
Is that the verdict for now? It's looking pretty fantastic. We just come to the conclusion that we came from the land of funky hairdos into the country of boogie trucker. It's still quite boring, it's a bit sad. Need to get our headscarves out again.
As we got further into Niamey, we noticed plenty of skins still on display, and despite being majority Muslim, there was still plenty of the national beer Niger, which we drank on a floating bar on the river Niger, while hippos snorted off in the distance. We spent a few days exploring Niamey and the Grand Marché, only to meet Lebanese diamond smugglers at a rooftop bar who laughed when I asked if they were tourists, since that's not what white people do here. Unless they were us, obviously. We were still thinking about where to go next and contemplating pushing north to Agadez until we met two Italians who'd ridden their motorbikes for several days in the military convoy to get there, only to be turned around when the next link-up failed to show. Since all travel north or east had security challenges, we decided we'd head south to see West Africa's last giraffes and then continue on to Benin.
We found a favourite cafe. We're in Niamey still. What was the story today? Why am I all sad today?
No cheese croissant.
So I was looking forward all day yesterday to my crease. To my crease. Look, I got distracted by omelette.
We just had one last breakfast in the trappings of civilization and the French boulangerie it had to offer before hitting the road towards Kouré to go chasing giraffes.
What are they doing? Got some cameras. Got ourselves a taxi Bruce going in the background. And some giraffes. Yep, just chilling out, eating a tree, as you do. I mean, what else are you gonna do? It's hot, isn't it? Amazing camera skills.
We were now about an hour's drive from Niamey, having taken the granny off-road to hang out with the continent's few remaining West African giraffe.
Sneaking up on them. Yeah, pretending to be one of them. They didn't fight, I'm too sure. I thought if I went up like this, then they might not run off. So maybe they'd think I'm a giraffe. Let's see. I thought maybe my legs looked off. Yeah. I don't think they got tricked.
Around the time of World War I, the West African giraffe could be found all the way across the Sahel region from Senegal to Nigeria. Over the last century, their numbers steadily declined until they dropped to only 49 individuals by the mid-90s, being found only in Niger. By the time we found them hanging out with the local goats in early 2011, their numbers had just increased to around 300. In the decades since our visit, numbers of the West African giraffe have now recovered even further, numbering an estimated 600 individuals, all still in Niger today. The outlook for the rest of Niger is sadly looking less optimistic today, with the security situation worsening further since. While foreigners are certainly still at risk from kidnapping and murder, hundreds of Nigerians continue to be killed by terrorists in incidents that go largely underreported in Western media. One of the more recent high-profile attacks occurred in this exact giraffe reserve in August 2020, when 8 people, including 6 French nationals, were killed while visiting to look for giraffe. But much of that was still yet to come, and for now we were carrying on in ignorant bliss, with our most dramatic disturbance of the day being when the goats descended en masse, sending the giraffe packing.
Stupid sheep!
It was time for us to hit the road ourselves anyway. We'd be without Lena for the next stretch while she bussed it to a festival in Burkina Faso, with plans to meet us again in a few days' time in northern Benin.
Bon voyage! Why is the car running on the side of the road? Why have we stopped, Claire?
Because we were taking the opportunity to catch the unique, rare, almost extinct fuck or share cross between a cow.
What is that? What is this?
It might be part goat, part cow, part pig, part...
No one really knows. It's all quite interesting.
Truck coming. Let's go.
This is some good quality road.
It's amazing.
It is
I feel
amazing.
privileged to be able to drive on this sort of road again.
Yeah, and it's quite trafficked. Trafficked. There you go. Ugh.
Soft sand on the left, shit on the right. Other way around.
And yeah, tons of trucks.
We'd been driving across this cobweb of tar and potholes for 3 hours now.
Our speakers are dead. Our radio's dead. Everything's dead. We've been singing. But now voices are out because water's out.
The road's getting better. The road's getting better.
Huh. No, it wasn't. And we still had far to go considering we'd just run out of drinking water in the desert.
Ooh. Bit of tyre changing, that's the blowout.
We were also starting to see just exactly what this road was capable of.
That is quite unfortunate.
And the granny would be no exception.
Do you want to tell me what just happened?
Just got attacked by a bunch of random children who tried to pull my arm off.
We just stopped in a village on our search for water.
That was basically the whole village. It took 2 seconds. They were all
Wheezing me.
in the car, and it starts out with one touching you, and then they're all hanging on your arms. And yeah, fucked up the rear window.
We'd had to drive off to make them let go of our arms, abandoning our search for water for now.
Well, the mirror's the least of our concerns, isn't it? Since we don't have a starter motor anymore.
You know, I started my fucked.
Again.
Damn it. And brakes are starting to squeal again.
And the road looks like this. The whole way to Benin.
And we're still out of water. We need water. Oh, we're thirsty. It is roasting. Hey, sure.
It's a pretty cool village with these random
Yeah,
greeneries.
that looks like a clay pot.
We were seeing a lot of traditional circular granaries built from combinations of mud and straw as we drove through Niger's Tillaberi region. As terrorists associated with the Islamic State have been attacking these villages more recently, not only have they massacred hundreds of people in the Tillaberi region this year alone, but they've also been burning important food stores such as these to the ground.
Another little village. Another little oasis. Oh, they might have water. Bonsoir!
Seriously, do you want to maybe check the stall?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah, that shop. Maybe take an empty water bottle in case they don't speak any French.
We finally got our water, and once more, the whole village turned up to greet us. We clearly weren't great at going unnoticed.
We're 6 kilometers from the border. It's green. And we're starting to sweat.
I know!
It's insane. Because before, in Niamey, it's terrible. Sweat evaporates before, you know, you can even have a chance to be sweat. Love this place. The air is fresh.
There's things that are green.
Yeah.
There's lots of this stuff they call water.
Yeah. They even grow some...
No.
Could be. We love it. Look at that. So that's a bridge. Massive bridge. Massive bridge. Yeah. That hasn't collapsed. And look at this. The road is even alright. We are loving life right now.
As we were taking in what we thought would be our last glimpses of the same river Niger that we'd been following ever since we reached Bamako in Mali, we started feeling a sense of elation about just how far we'd come.
Get out! We drove here. We drove here.
Fucking drove here.
We drove here.
We've done it.
We're right near the border.
And as we closed in on the border, relieved it was on a hill for easy bump starting after we'd stamped our passports, we were yet to discover that the scrapes the granny had endured climbing out of the deeper potholes had left their lasting consequences.
Now about to drive over the bridge we just saw.
And it's green!
It's amazing.
It's quite... is this the frontier?
Well, we are near
But Niger was not done with us yet.
Claire, we're still at the bridge. Why?
I fucked up.
What happened? Like, we were really happy. It was the border, so I turned the camera off and we got stamped out even.
We were driving a very excellent road here. And Granny's
Nice.
becoming continent again. But this time, it's not that she drove through a puddle. This time she is making a puddle.
Oh no.
That's a
Sat from Granny.
I was hoping that our amazing mechanic had just not put the bolt back on the sump properly. But
No.
as it turns out, I've torn a hole in the sump.
Yeah, and it's seeping. We just moved locations, so I'll tell you, we've been here for a few minutes. And yeah,
Every fucking African knows everything. They all want to look under the bonnet, even though the problem is under the fucking car.
Yep. And this though is not. It's amazing. Look at the difference of the tyres. It's a perfect opportunity to shine some light at our African tyres. As you can see, one tyre is slightly smaller than the other one. Just slightly. But we've jacked her up. She's right.
Put a whole lot of new oil in it.
I know, 5 litres of expensive
Not
oil.
yesterday, like 4 days ago.
But yeah.
Chewing gum, maybe fix it with some chewing gum.
Possibly.
Or just we need to weld it. Hold the sump. Good job we're not keeping the car. If they don't do a proper inspection, which
They probably won't.
I don't think they're in the habit of, then
Doubt it.
it's fine. And if we sell it to someone who wants to sell it on again,
Which is
they won't care.
most likely going to be the case. Alright, well, I'm still at the border. Shouldn't be filming, but yeah.
So much oil. We love oil.
After spending some time poking around under the car, it was clear we needed a proper fix. We paid a small kid to run off into the village and find us a mechanic who could unbolt the sump and hopefully weld it, even if the fix might only be temporary.
Anna. Hey. So we might be broken down. We might have punctured the sump and there might be oil all over the floor. The mechanic might have run off with the sump and I might have his child forced labourer slave over there talking about how amazing Anna is, even though he's probably about 7 years old. But looks like you have found yourself a new pastime.
I wonder how long this is going to stick for.
You're going to have to leave it for hours before you actually wash it off.
Mechanic!
Mechanic!
Way! Voila!
Well, hello there.
We were now in a charming border hotel after fitting the now welded sump back on the car and pouring the dregs of our salvaged oil back in the engine. We'd been taken here by Franklin, a Nigerian car runner who we'd met at the border while broken down.
So, we're in this amazing hotel room.
Looks
Looks like someone spilled a glass of something down the wall.
Ah!
Yeah, just minor spillage, nothing serious.
Yeah, we were quite tedious with covering of the door before we turned the light on, so the mossies wouldn't get in.
Mosquitoes to get in.
Closed everything, and then there's a fucking hole in the roof. But we have the fan on full speed, so you know nothing should be able to land on us because there's such a massive breeze in here.
Whoa.
Franklin had taken us to dinner at a roadside stall, getting us to sit behind a wall out of view of the road since we were glaringly obvious in our foreignness, while explaining his line of work in the illegal car and smuggling trade that made this border a little dodgy.
What have you got over your head that's actually working?
There's blades flying around the place like the one who cooked us dinner last night. I mean, tonight. It's been too long. Waving the knife around.
She got really angry.
Amazing
Wasn't
rice
it?
dinner though.
We did, and
Amazing.
I started out with eating a massive chili. That was a bit
It
stupid.
was cooked by a Nigerian. Because we're on the border with Benin, Nigeria, and Niger. And we just found out that, unfortunately, if we just stayed in Niger, even though we are in Niger, but we're stamped out of Niger, we could have conned our way into Nigeria without a visa and possibly offloaded our car there, actually.
Bummer, really, about that.
But then, if we'd done that, we wouldn't have found the fact that there was no oil left in the car in the first place, because there was a massive hole in the sump. nor we have met the amazing Nigerian who told us this, or had a really good dinner with a view of 50,000 cars coming into Niger from Benin, driven by people illegally importing them to sell again. So I think we found where we can get our money in Africa. Why are we going to Ghana? Why are we not just bringing in cars and selling them?
Because we're white and chicks.
We're white and we'll have to pay bigger bribes.
Or so Franklin had told us, though perhaps he was just trying to stop us from moving in on his turf. Franklin explained that from where we'd met him on the tri-border, he'd first bought American 4x4s at the port in Nigeria and driven them up to Algeria, since they liked to drive them in the desert up there. In Algeria, he'd buy Mercedes and drive them to Niger, where they were bought as taxis. The link down to Benin was a little less clear and most definitely linked to smuggling, which he didn't talk about directly, except to chuckle and wag a finger when our line of questioning drew too close.
What have I got on my t-shirt, Claire?
Oh, wait.
Where is it?
Where is it? Yeah, because she's been working hard onto that car, haven't you?
Not, but
Show me, what was that? You got a disease? Yeah?
it's
More oil,
it
is
is.
it? No.
It's black bits.
Maybe
and then
it's
you
not oil.
think
Does it rub off? No, it doesn't.
it doesn't.
Finger puppets. Give me a little ruff. Oh my god, it's basically a leopard. Oh, leopard in the long grass? No, it's Anna.
Tomorrow there's a mechanic that's going to turn up really early, first thing.
Why is that? Because we're girls and we shouldn't be pushing a car?
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the Nigerian.
Over dinner, Franklin had started pointing out things we'd forgotten were even wrong with our car in the first place.
Clean your feet, they're too dirty. You look like you've been playing in the dirt.
Was this?
But
green?
I have
You're missing
been.
a bolt on your.
What do you mean your car is fine because if you bump start it, it works? That's not good enough. You must get it looked at by a mechanic.
Your original tires?
What? 800 kilometers. That is a long distance.
And we thought it was just the sump. Franklin seemed personally offended that we thought we could drive off in a car like that. No starter motor, requiring one of us to push the car to get it going, 4 missing wheel studs and nuts that had been gone since Mauritania already, and a sickly-looking spare wheel that had taken the place of a full-size tyre with a disconcerting bulge in the sidewall. He insisted we meet him for breakfast in the morning so he could find his own trusted mechanic and see if we could fix anything else before crossing into Benin.
So we've had breakfast. Bought breakfast actually.
We'd met Franklin's mechanic but decided to push straight to Benin after learning repairs would take days, considering we were illegally in Niger, having stamped out the day before.
And now we're crossing the border again.
Yay!
No problem. Benin, here we come. Way. Kids with sticks, ladies with stuff on their heads. Yes, it's still in Africa.
Is the bridge that's still standing?
Is the bridge still standing? Yeah, it's not in the water. It's not falling down.
Franklin agreed to trust our judgment if we promised to go straight to a mechanic in Benin and not do anything silly with the car. Unfortunately, this was a promise we'd break, along with the car, as soon as we crossed the border, and we'll see you there next episode.
Hi, present day Claire here. New episodes will be uploaded every Sunday, so hit subscribe if you'd like to be notified when it's time to watch. Thanks and see you next time.